Hello, my name is William, and I would just like to talk to you today a little bit about the 5C1 pre-apprenticeship model. The 5C1 pre-apprenticeship model is new with foundational backing from our normal process of growth and development. And what I'm saying is that we have added new models that we think every apprentice should focus on or be sure that they are competent with before engaging in the regular apprenticeship model, where they can ensure the employers that they are competent and ready to go to work, or they will be competent as they learn and go to work within their organization. And our goal here at the 5C1 is to prepare them to begin to take on those type of activities and those type of goals. And we do this by number one, starting out with self-awareness. Self-awareness is really important to us. It lets us know something about ourselves. We need to get to know a little bit about ourselves. Secondly, we try to discuss our self-worth. What are we worth? What is our strength? And what is our weaknesses? What is it that we're not very good at? And, we want to improve on it. We need to get better at it. Not that we might want to, we need to get better at it. So we have a process of beginning to look at that before we go and lay those problems on to some other employer down the road. The third one is self-direction. And that's more like setting goals. We have a direction for our lives, the direction we want to go in. And that's important because when you are goal directed, that means a lot of the unnecessary things you kind of push to the side. We call it unnecessary foolishness, that tomfoolery stuff, the stuff you can push to the side because it has no direct impact on you achieving the things or accomplishing the things that you really want to accomplish. Um, we talk about self-discipline, and that's really critical when we start to speaking of online courses and online learning. We need to make sure that we can discipline ourselves to be able to engage online for hours or continuous days. Who knows? In our program, we try to use more blended learning and more social interaction. So it's important that we build relationships and then we can engage in the learning process. So that's important to us as far as self-discipline. One of the next things is managing our emotions and our impulses. And that's very important on the job. And an employer wants to know that, he has someone that's going to be calm, even in tight situations, because situations could change in workplaces overnight. Within the next hour, things could change, get bad or good, The next is a sense of responsibility and accountability. And that's kind of the underlying factor of the whole program. We want to be responsible for our own growth and our own development, as well as our learning. We want to be responsible ourselves for achieving the competencies, for mastering the levels of competencies up to the core level where we become more knowledgeable and we're at the point that we're able to share our information with others. That right there alone is extremely important when you begin to talk about establishing a collaborative work environment. That means people working together. That means people sharing information. That doesn't mean people taking information, going back to their office. No, I'm gonna be the one to share this with the boss. No, no one has one authority over the other. You share and you come up with one sound agreement that we all agree to. So responsibility and accountability is really critical. Next is personal convictions. Personal convictions, those things are really interested in what we talk about with personal convictions is one's strengths, um, on taking a stand on issues. We have to measure that out. Sometimes we feel really strong about things, but we may not know how our coworker feel or our customer base may feel about it. So we have to take a stand on them, know where we stand at, and know how they interact or interact with our customer base or with our coworkers. And those are like our positions and how we see things, and we all sometimes can see them a little different. Personal convictions are extremely important. And our last one we work on is planning for personal change. Now, you've gone through all these things, you identified all those things that you want to work on, you want to get better at, you want to improve yourself on. And now you kind of want to lay out a plan. And what is that plan? And how you choose to develop yourself in that process. And those are the things that's important, along with part of the pre-apprenticeship model is the exploratory model of the different career fields that we have available at the 5C1 network. And those are businesses and organizations that's already interactive or inter-network with us that we can want to direct our apprentices to. Because one of the things that we understand about our apprentices, once they learn the 5C1 learning model, which is a learning model that's continuously learning, and it is based on mastery of competencies. So when we talk about, what does all of that mean? That means that when we commit to mastering the competencies, we will qualify ourselves to be successful and do successful things in the future. Whether that be going to a job, whether that be starting your own business because you're feeling pretty good, you have some knowledge, and you're ready to move forward. That's what it's all about, growing and developing. So when we at the point that we can commit to mastering the competencies to the point that we qualify ourselves to be successful, then we have to understand. And one of the things that we wanted to do with the 5C1 pre-apprenticeship model is remove barriers. So we've talked about ownership. We talked about the process of developing ourselves to get to the point that we're able to do these things. Then there should be nothing else in the way. So what we did at the 5C1 Center for Growth is we removed the barriers, so there's no pre-selection, pre-test, all those things. And we asked you to remove the excuses. So if we remove the barriers and you remove the excuses, all we have is real, true learning that's going to take place. And that learning is going to be based on your effort, your motivation to want to achieve, your motivation to want to advance to the next step. Your motivation is to become a knowledge expert. I mean, you've worked in this field. Some of you have started in high school, and you've been in this field 2-3 years, you have gained knowledge, and you want to be able to share that knowledge, even though you may still be young. Sharing the knowledge is critical and it's crucial to today's workplace because it's a collaborative work environment that we are going to begin to engage in. Learning never stops, so learning must be continuous, and we must create competent individuals at the end. Individuals that's able to handle situations, individuals that's knowledgeable enough to know how to add value to the process. And that's what it's all about, learning, growing, and earning. Thank you for taking the time to hear this information about the 5C1 pre-apprenticeship model. The actual model is simply based on personal foundation, building that personal foundation where we are able to add new information and we're able to grow. And we're also able to improve our work readiness. We are ready for the workforce. Thank you and have a great day.